Hello, Libra, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of August 24th through the 30th. And during that time, we'll have a waxing crescent moon. And that's a really good time of heightened senses and awareness. Good time to buckle down and get to work on those projects and things that we've just started during the new moon. So good time to plan, get things done, kind of make adjustments. So keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Libra. So as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message for this reading, Libra: a personal issue reaches resolution. All right, let's see what the Libra Collective has going on for the week. And as I'm shuffling, I would like to say that my weekly message this week is that you learn something new. So pick a topic that maybe you've had some interest in. And, I just, as adults, sometimes we forget to deep dive and learn something. I feel like I'm constantly learning new things, but to really deep dive and go deep on something, um, unless I'm reading a book or something, it's just not something that I normally do. So to make sure you just take that time and set aside time, especially when we have the moon energy like we do this week, that's really good for focus. And it's just, take a little time for yourself, study, read a book, watch a lecture, maybe listen to a podcast, but really take notes and think about what you've learned and absorb it. So that is my weekly reminder for you this week. All right, Libra, without further ado, August 24th through the 30th, a personal issue reaches resolution. Let's see what you guys have going on. We are ready to go. All right, overall present energy, perfect balance. So it looks like you're just in a place where you're feeling good. This is the end of the major arcana. This is the end of the fool's journey. So, as the fool goes through all the different trials and tribulations of life and here and there, we end up at the perfect balance area, which is an ending. It's a good ending. It's where there's understanding and things are very clear, and you feel like you're just in a good harmonic phase. But it also can always mean that there's a new beginning right around the corner, right? Your current situation is that you're feeling a little bit like an outsider. So, while you may be doing very well, you may be around people that are not, and it's kind of you know, don't let other people bring you down, I guess. Is kind of the feeling I'm getting, that if you're doing well, go ahead and bask in that for a little bit and enjoy that energy and avoid people that are maybe not where you are right now. Sometimes that's, don't feel guilty about doing well, I guess is what I'm trying to say there. At the root of your situation, Queen of Cups, who I've seen an awful lot of in these readings this week. Queen of Cups, just very maternal, understanding, emotionally balanced. Has the ability to really understand the people around her. Not only your own emotions, but the people in your kingdom. If you look at her blue foot here, that's just in the waters, in those emotional waters, and the waters completely surrounding her, and she's able to understand everyone else's emotional motivations as well as their own. So great energy to be sitting in there at your root. What is in your recent past is the Page of Pentacles. So you could be in a place where you've come into some money, or you've got a new financial situation, or maybe you've had some luck come your way. Business is good, that sort of thing. So you're coming into this feeling good about the world. Part of it is financial, part of it is emotional. That's really good. What's on your mind this week is a Tower. So some sort of disruption, and maybe it's something that you're anticipating and trying to avoid, especially since you're in this nice calm mode. Or maybe it's something that your overall message here was a personal issue reaches resolution. You may have some sort of just some personal issue in your mind, and it could be, like I said, about fighting with feeling like you're doing well when other people around you are not. And you're you can fix some of that with some generosity on your part, but don't let others, don't let the world that's going on also hamper your enjoyment of something that you've really worked hard to achieve. Your personal achievements are awesome, and it's okay to celebrate that. But if I know Libras are very empathetic, and sometimes you can take on the issues of the world instead of basking in your own joy, if that makes sense. So let's see what's just in front of you this week. Is yeah, I mean, you're feeling a little bit of celebration, within your community, your friends and family. There are other people that do recognize that you're doing well. This could be your friends, your parents, your siblings, people at work. Other people are like, hey, kind of patting you on the back, and that's a little temporary successful feeling, and that feels really good. But again, don't let that empathy of what's going on in the world around you just totally bring you down. Try to put up a shield and kind of protect yourself personally. If you have empathic skills, one thing that's very important that you learn how to do is kind of separate your own feelings from those of the people around you, and make sure that this, I'm feeling this because I'm feeling it, not the person standing next to me, right? That's very important as an empath to take the time to learn those skills. What is in your advice position is the judgment card. So, this is about, when you're making judgments, this is about having a new awareness. This is when we learn a lesson. This could be you judging yourself, this could be you judging others or judging a situation. But, the advice is to go ahead and learn that thing, have that new awareness from something that you're learning. This is about truth, getting to the truth. And if there's something that you're, something that's kind of in your mind, or you're worried about, or you're having kind of just a mental disruption over it. And I do feel like it has something to do with just empathy and I don't know. I'm just, don't let the big problems of the world crush your own joy, I guess is what I'm trying to say. That there's sometimes it's okay to celebrate yourself and celebrate the things that you're accomplishing, even though the world just seems like it's not doing as well. It's okay. What is beyond your control this week? Knight of Pentacles. So action here in the way of Pentacles that look like are coming into you. And this could be, like I said, this could be a promotion at work, or just money that came to you. Maybe you won a contest, or, have some extra cash laying around, and that's okay. You can take action with that. And don't feel guilty about it. I just really have this guilt feeling that somehow that you guys are feeling guilty about something. What is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid, is the Hierophant. So, maybe it's your desire to get some sort of guidance in the spiritual realm. That could be why you're listening to tarot readings. You're like, I'm at a point and I'm thinking this through. I'm feeling guilty about something, and you're feeling guilty about your own success is kind of what I'm feeling there. So could be again why you're seeking guidance, or maybe you're avoiding seeking guidance because of it. You're just like eh, just kind of accepting that it is what it is, and you're kind of stuck in this icky feeling. Well, don't do that. It's okay again to feel good when you're having personal success, but people around you are not. What is in your outcome position is Page of Swords. So this is maybe a new way of thinking, a new way of communicating. I wouldn't be shocked to see the Hanged Man show up maybe in your next week's reading, that you're taking on this new perspective of this and trying to, like, this is some kind of little life lesson that you're trying to learn. Again, a personal issue reaches a resolution, and that's when we all have these same issues that we're all learning about, some of us quicker than others, on different things, but we're all learning and slugging through these messages. But this is just happens to be the one you're facing this week, is to be able to enjoy your own successes, even though it makes you feel a little bit like an outsider because other people aren't doing as well. And again, you can solve some of that, but if you want to be charitable, at least be sensitive to what other people are going through. You don't want to flaunt it too much, but enjoy it too. What's hidden from you this week is a broken heart, so that's good. There's a few cards that we really want to see at the bottom of the deck. That's one of them for sure. None of that this week. So just go ahead and enjoy yourself. Let's get a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. And your reading also seems kind of short. I think maybe it was Virgo who also, there's been a couple readings this week where there's not a whole lot going on, which is fine. not every week is big dramatic things that are happening in our life. This seems very subtle. This seems very internal. This is on your mind where, you're disrupted. Like your mind is, I want to almost say ruminating on this, that you're almost like you feel like things are going so well, like you're looking around corners to see what could go wrong. So don't do that. Don't do that. Let's try to just kind of enjoy where you are right now. Um, just kind of enjoy that. All right. Soul Oracle deck says for Libra this week. Oh, we've got two cards that came out here. We will take them, but rejuvenate is the first one. Okay. I like that. And strengthen your gifts. So, and if you need to rejuvenate so that you're not thinking, so that you're not distracted by kind of just dark thoughts. I mean, look at, this feeling like an outsider, this tower, that's kind of a dark cloud, darker, just even the card color here that's over. Then look at all the light and brightness in the other cards. So, don't let your own thoughts overshadow your joy, your success, your happiness, and take time to revel in it just a little bit. It's okay to do that. All right, in your self-care area, Libra, which you definitely need this week. Take care of you this week. Also, yeah, strengthen your gifts there, rejuvenate. And if that means, let's see what happens here with your self-care card. Well, here's one that's coming up. Peace is the card that comes up for you for self-care. Just because some people are fueled by drama doesn't mean you have to attend the performance. Make your life a drama-free zone. I love this card. I've seen this before. Yeah, you can be drama-free, even though, I mean, I feel like you're kind of putting some of this into your own head, but just please enjoy the fruits of your own labor, enjoy your own rewards, take a little time to rejuvenate yourself if that means, that you need to just treat yourself a little bit. It's fine. And let's come out of this week with a new way of thinking and try to be more positive. If this means that you need to, write affirmations on your mirror, just those things that remind us to be more positive mentally. Don't let yourself get down because you're doing well. So, Libra, thank you so much for joining me here today. I do hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use. Again, it's not a really big week as far as a lot of things going on for you. I think a lot of this is very mental things that you're going to work out, but if you want to work that out in this cycle, it just means that you get to avoid it in the future. Once you learn this, you'll just get other lessons that come through, right? So, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this reading and can take something away and use for your week. If you like my reading style, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel. A new channel needs a push out into the algorithm, and any push like that, I really do appreciate. And more importantly, Libra, if you find me, it'll help you. Or if you add me, it'll help you find me next week and we can see where this message goes for next time. So thank you so much, Libra. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.